Yeah, they sent the young guy in today, the 57-year-old assistant. So welcome everybody. We're excited to try to build on a great game that we played against Nevada on Sunday, and take some of that positive energy onto the road against a very good Utah State team. They've won 5 of the last 6 home games in conference. They beat Nevada themselves in double digits, and will be a real challenge for us, but we had a good day of practice yesterday. Hopefully another one today leading into a challenging road game, and try to build on some momentum and carry it into next week. With that, I will take any questions you have. Any questions?
Brian, what caused the switch? Where did you find that little formula in, Matt too? How did you guys pull this together?
We're finally getting back to full strength. We've had guys that have been out, and sometimes being out doesn't mean just being out for games. They might miss 3 or 4 practices leading into a game and then play in the game. But it's not the same. If you're going to be good, you have to practice. And so I think a lot of times, even though we have guys available for games, they haven't been available for practice. And it seems like going into the Nevada game and into this week, we've got guys that are not only playing in games, they're playing in practices. Matt, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, it's very important. Practice is where you get your rhythm. So if you're not able to practice, you're not able to go through the scouts of the team we're going to guard next game, it hurts. So it's definitely good to have everyone out there able to practice and go through what we need to do.
What's that do for your psyche though when you're out in the game like what you just played and just everything is going like you had hoped at the start of the year?
Yeah, you just got to keep it rolling through the week on to the next game, and that's what we're focused on, having good practices before I head out to Utah.
And it doesn't hurt when Matt makes 3 threes in a game either, like he did against Nevada. So obviously we want to keep Matt shooting the ball well. We got to get Max shooting the ball good again. I think he struggled a little bit, and a lot of that's due to the fact where he played 3 minutes against Fresno because of an injury, didn't play the next game at all against San Jose, a team that we beat at our place when he made 5 threes, and now he's finally getting back into a little rhythm. So obviously we want to continue to shoot the ball well from 3-point range, and Matt and Max are a big part of that for us.
Did you feel there was also a difference in the fans and the energy in the building on Sunday?
It's always great playing a home game. Our fans have always been great to us, and they support us like no other in the conference. And sometimes that's hard for us to tell because being the team that's won 5 of the last 6 titles, when we go on the road, we play in full buildings. And so we take for granted it's like that every time for them too, but it's not. When we watch game tape, very rarely are those buildings full other than when the Aztecs come to town. And so we take that for granted, but when we come home, we always know we're going to play in front of a nice full house and with great fan support. And obviously, when you're struggling, there's nothing better than being at home. And that gives you that little extra motivation. Then, we've got good basketball fans. They know basketball. And so they're not going to accept a subpar performance from the Aztecs. And there's a lot of pressure, but with that pressure is a good thing. It gets us to concentrate, play hard all the time, and come out of the home environment with a win most of the time.
Dutch, you talked about getting guys back to full strength. Do you think Sunday's game came out of nowhere? Or do you have a sense that this has been building for a little while and you can sort of see some signs?
For the first time in a long time, we were the hunters instead of the hunted. We were playing the team that was in first place, a place we're accustomed to being. And so to have them come into our gym and say, this is the first place team in our conference, obviously that was not something our guys wanted to hear or used to hearing. And so I think being the hunter instead of the hunted was a good thing for us. We don't want to say that very often, but in this game it was a great thing. Matt, what do you think of that? The home environment.
Yeah, it's great. Especially my 5th year, I've learned to grow more comfortable in Viejas, and just running out there on home, it's more comfortable. It's being in San Diego and not having to travel, so it's nice, and it's definitely helpful with the support and the energy our fans bring.
And extra pressure for Matt because his parents are definitely at every home game, so he knows he's going to get an earful if he doesn't play well, not only from me but from Mom and Dad.
Matt, Coach Fisher said that he sensed a little bit of a turn after the loss at Air Force. Do you agree with that? And what was it about that loss that maybe got you guys rolling? And obviously you had the San Jose State loss in there, but the other games have been pretty good since then.
Yeah, I mean, I think Coach Fisher, you know, they've never beat us. I've never lost the Air Force, and that was something that, you know, I hold on to. I was proud of, and so I think just that loss hurt for me, hurt for everyone. So just to be in that game so close and to kind of lose it at the end, like how we did, it just hurt. So, you know, it refocused guys, got everyone back in the gym and preparing us for the next game.
So you did sense that?
I mean, I think Coach Fisher and Dutch are a little better at sensing things. I just try to come in and give energy and bring energy to these practices and the team.
But you kind of feel like that Sunday's game wasn't really unexpected, that it had been building the last couple of weeks?
I guess. I mean, we practice hard, we play hard. I mean, we just have to be consistent and go at people every possession.
I mean, there's a certain level of consistency you want. You know, you want to see numbers out of guys every week. Like, we can count on these numbers from each guy every week. And this team sometimes, you know, because of the injuries, because of different guys having to step up, we've had individuals that maybe might have an off game or two, then a big game. And so as coaches, you're always uncomfortable with that. You like to say, well, this guy's going to get 16 every game, and this guy's going to give us 8 rebounds every game. But all of a sudden, a guy might not play for 2 games. So where are those numbers going to come from? And so as coaches, all we can do is try to get the level of performance, maximum energy. You know, we can't count on guys being there or not. So I think our energy was great since Air Force. And even though we lost to Colorado State, you know, it took Clavel having a Jordan-like game to beat us. I mean, he was out of his mind. He played great, but that's not to say we didn't play well. We played really well. So we stumbled a little bit at San Jose. I think other than that game, our performance has been really strong since that Air Force loss. And so hopefully we can continue building on that momentum on the road and then coming back with 2 home games. So this is a good stretch for us. Three of our last 4 games we're going to be home. You know, we beat Nevada, now we go on the road and then come back for 2 more home games. So this is a good time for us to maybe build a little momentum.
The coach had said after the Nevada game, Mountain West Conference tournament this year, no at-large. Is that something you preach to the players at this point, that's kind of the way it is this year, which has been different from years past?
I know a lot of times this time of the year I'm looking at everybody's record and I'm trying to see, do we have a chance to get in that large? Last year when we were 16-2, I'm trying to look at all these other scores, and that's just human nature. I don't know if Coach does that, but that's what I do. And with where we are now, I'm not looking at everybody else's records. I'm not saying, are we going to get in that large? I think we all know what we have to do. I think we have to win the conference tournament if we're going to go to the NCAA tournament. And so, you know, that's nothing we talk to the kids about on a daily basis. All we're talking about is trying to get better every day. And I think that's every coach in the country, and it sounds cliche, but if you don't improve daily, then you're not going to be in a position to win 3 weeks from now. So we fight the daily battle. We try to get better every day in practice. We don't want to take a day off. We want to continue to improve as a team. And if we do all the little things, which aren't so little, then we'll have great success in the conference tournament. But there's there's 6 more games before we even have to worry about that. So we're focused on these last 6 more than anything and focused mostly on Utah State tomorrow.